Was Luther Burden the top steal of the 2025 NFL draft? Because if you're looking at what the Chicago Bears pulled off, it's hard not to think that way. Lord, let's break this down, especially from the perspective of how he fits into Ben Johnson's offense. First off, I want to know, are you excited to see Burden lined up in this revamped offensive unit? Because from what I've seen, and from everything we know about what Johnson values in his receiving core, this is a perfect match. Burden isn't just a solid pick, he might be the exact piece this offensive puzzle was missing. Now, Burden's fit isn't a mystery. Analysts across the board highlighted him as one of the most dynamic receivers in the draft class. He's got that explosiveness after the catch that so many coaches crave in today's NFL. And Ben Johnson? He's built a name on schemes that unlock receivers in space and let them go to work. That's why Burden makes so much sense here. There's a real possibility that Burden starts off working out of the slot, surrounded by other playmakers, and that's not a demotion. That's where he can thrive. He's been productive in that role before, and his style of play screams yards after catch, which is exactly what this offense is built to exploit. One highly respected evaluator even said Burden was among the most NFL-ready players available. And it's not just about raw numbers or measurables, it's about feel, his ability to turn short passes into big plays, to create space where there was none, and to be dangerous anytime he touches the ball. For me, even with a slight dip in his college production this past season, he still stood out as arguably the most complete receiver available. All you've got to do is get him the ball and let him do his thing. In today's game, that's gold. Teams are desperate for that kind of weapon. Someone who can stretch the field horizontally, create mismatches, and keep defenses honest. And that's exactly what the Bears want. Their new head coach has emphasized it again and again. They're hunting for explosive playmakers after the catch. Sure, they've already got some players on the roster who fit that mold, and that likely played a role in shaping their draft board. But Burden, he's the prototype. He's the one that checks every single box. Honestly, I'm still a bit shocked he was even available when the Bears were on the clock. I didn't see that coming. I figured he'd be off the board somewhere. In the mid-teens, maybe between pick 15 and pick 20. But when he was still there at 39, that was a no-brainer. Let's put this in perspective. Chicago walked away with the single most effective receiver in terms of yards after the catch in the entire draft class. That's not just a good pick. That's a pick that aligns perfectly with what this team is trying to become. Sure, you could call it a bit of a luxury, but sometimes the best value comes when you don't overthink it. He was the most complete athlete on the board and filled multiple needs at once. Just look at what this offense already has. There are multiple players capable of making people miss and turning routine plays into chunk yardage. That might even explain why the team didn't bring back a veteran receiver who, while still savvy and precise in his routes, just wasn't producing after the catch anymore. And speaking of that veteran, he's still a solid contributor. He knows how to get open, still catches everything thrown his way. But at 32 or 33 years old, he's clearly not looking to absorb contact the way he used to. You can tell he makes the catch, gets a few yards, then he's down. No shame in that. It's part of the aging curve. But the league is shifting. Coaches want juice. They want players who can take a 5-yard slant and turn it into a 30-yard gain. And the Bears are building something with that in mind. Right. Now, there's one young receiver on that roster who might be the best in the league in that area. Another guy who just came in through this draft class. He's right there too. And there's a third name, also on this team, who brings that exact same energy. You start stacking those guys together. Shifty, fast, fearless with the ball in. Their hands. And suddenly you've got something special brewing. It's not just about route running anymore. It's about what happens after the catch on those quick passes, those plays where all the quarterback has to do is get the ball out fast and let his guy go eat. This isn't just a trend. It's the direction of the league. More and more teams are realizing how hard it is to consistently push the ball deep. So they're designing offenses around quick hitters, run after catch specialists, and yards in space. And the quarterback benefits too. Instead of needing to throw the perfect pass 30 yards downfield, he just needs to read the defense, find his guy in the right matchup, and let the playmakers go to work. Now imagine this Bears offense with all those guys on the field at the same time. Who do you cover? Who do you double? If you roll your coverage one way, someone else is going to break free. It creates a problem that defensive coordinators hate solving, and Burden is right at the center of it. He's that kind of weapon. Even if he wasn't a need per se, he was the best player on the board, and sometimes that's all the justification you need. It's a flashy pick, sure, but it also happens to be a smart one. So let me ask you, who do you think is going to have the bigger impact long term? The veteran root technician or the explosive young playmaker type Roro if you're going? With the former, or LB if you're betting on Burden. I'll tell you this, while I can appreciate the all-around game of the vet, and while he's still got some juice left, Burden has the chance to be something special, especially when you look at how this coaching staff likes to build their offense. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Burden becomes the go-to guy, the spark plug who elevates the whole group, and major credit to the scouting department for pulling this one off. Seriously, finding a player like this at 39 is rare. Want to know how rare? Let's talk stats. There's a very short list of receivers in the Southeastern Conference who put up more than 1,200 yards as either freshmen or sophomores. We're talking about names that are already household in the NFL or are on their way there. That kind of production at that age in that conference is not normal. It's elite. And Burden is on that list. If he even comes close to that kind of output in the pros, the Bears are going to look like geniuses. Look, I'm not saying that's his ceiling. I'm not saying he's going to walk in and immediately be an all-pro. But being on that list puts you in an exclusive club. It's hard to do what he did in that conference, especially as a young player, and especially on a team that wasn't exactly loaded with top-tier offensive talent. That makes it even more impressive. Now, let's talk about why that production dipped in his junior season. Because, yeah, it's a real thing. He went from 86 receptions to 61. His yardage dropped from over 1,200 to under 700. That's a big drop. But touchdowns? He still put up decent numbers. 9 scores is nothing to scoff at. So what happened? There's one main factor that jumps out, the quarterback situation. His QB just didn't perform. Plain and simple. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a bold and unexpected move that has sent shockwaves through the NFL, Chicago Bears general manager Ryan Poles officially announced the signing of former Cleveland Browns running back Nick Chubb. The announcement, made early Monday morning, marks one of the biggest acquisitions of the offseason and signifies a clear shift in the Bears' offensive strategy heading into the new season. Nick Chubb, widely regarded as one of the premier power backs in the league, brings not only elite talent, but also a veteran presence to a young Bears offense still finding its identity. Known for his bruising running style, explosiveness through the gaps, and relentless work ethic, Chubb has been a cornerstone of the Browns' offense since entering the league in 2018, with 4 1,000-yard seasons under his belt and a reputation for consistency and toughness. His arrival in Chicago is being seen as a major step forward for a team eager to return to playoff relevance. Ryan Poles, now in his 3rd year at the helm of the Bears front office, described the signing as a game-changing addition. During the press conference, Poles expressed his admiration for Chubb's professionalism and leadership, noting that Nick embodies the kind of player and person we want representing the Bears. He's a competitor, a leader, and a proven difference maker. On the field, while details of the contract have not yet been disclosed, insiders suggest the deal is both lucrative and structured to give the Bears flexibility moving forward. The signing also raises questions about the future of the current backfield, including the roles of Khalil Herbert and Roschon Johnson. However, coaches have emphasized the importance of depth and versatility in the modern NFL, and Chubb's presence is expected to elevate the entire running back room. Fans across Chicago have reacted with excitement, flooding social media with messages of support and anticipation. After years of rebuilding, this move signals a clear intent from the Bears front office. They're ready to win, and win now. As training camp approaches, all eyes will be on Nick Chubb as he dons the navy and orange for the first time, ready to carve a new legacy in the Windy City. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.